this tutorial we're going to use Photoshop CC 2020 to create a color splash effect using the color range selection. Because sometimes you want to be able to grab all of a single color, but you couldn't possibly make that many selections. So say you're trying to grab all the daisies in a field and you just want their yellow centers, or for the example we're using today, we're going to pull out fans wearing red versus fans wearing blue at a baseball game. Let's go ahead and open up our color range stadium. This is what we'll eventually be creating. Alright, so our color range stadium, first thing we're going to do is do a file save as. We're going to save it as first initial last name underscore color range stadium. And go ahead and save it as a PSD. And save. As usual, let's go to image, image size, take a peek at how big it is. It's 22 by 16, which is a little bit large for us. So let's go ahead and make our width 6 inches. Height automatically goes to 4.5 because they're linked. And let's change that resolution up to 300. Resample 2.0 is on, and OK. Go ahead and hit a Control S and save what I've got. Let's zoom in and see what we've got here. So in this case, I want to show how many fans are wearing red versus how many fans are wearing blue in this image. So let's go ahead and do an auto tone just to correct in case there's anything else going on, and a little bit of auto contrast. Clean it up just a little tiny bit more, and do a Control S and save what I've got. Alright, so now what we're going to do is use the color range. So we're actually going to come here to select. We want to come halfway down to color range. We're going to get kind of a weird thing going on. So we want to make sure that we've got sampled colors, that we do want localized color clusters because we want to build pretty accurate. Under display options, we want to go ahead and choose the image so we can kind of see what's going on. And instead of the white mask, you could use another color. Quick mask will turn the image red. Let's go ahead and try the white for now. So I want to go ahead and choose the red. So I'm using my dropper to pick out the colors of red. And as I give it even more, if I push this fuzziness up, it's going to grab even more. Or I can tell it to grab additional parts of that red. If I don't like it, I can always do minus. Take it back out. So your goal is to try and grab as much red as you can. And you can grab it either in this small one, or you can grab it in your actual image itself. Make sure you're adding the plus, which means add to. So it will take a little bit of time to get a really good selection, but it is worth your time because it's only a few more steps once you get that part done. Let's go ahead and just grab a few more pieces. We know there's some red people over here. I don't like that one. Let's go ahead and grab this bit of red in here. So you can click more and more. You can change your range. Up or down. Bring that down. Alright, and grab that Toyota sign. That'll give us another red to grab. Alright, so if I change my matte, I can see the black matte will show me, kind of pops out anything that I do have. So if you are having problems grabbing stuff, you can try another color. You can try the quick mask. Sometimes that makes it a little bit easier, but not always, especially because right now we're actually choosing red. You could try the grayscale, but to me that one is even harder. You can also do selection. It'll show you your selection instead. So let's go back to white and pick a few more up. Alright, once I've got about what I think I want, it's a little bit hard because it's a little bit smaller. Before I push OK, I want to make sure that I push invert because I want to make sure that I am selecting everything except. So I've got my selection pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and push invert. And we're going to say OK. Now I want to go up to image, come down here to adjustments, and hit black and white. And it's basically can convert everything that is not selected into black and white. So I can change that to auto. I can pull my greens down. So if I don't want to have as much green in there, I can pull my cyan. And you've got a few different options. You can play with your different filters until you get something you like. I'm just going to go on auto. So once you're happy with it, you can say OK. I'm going to do a Control D and turn off my dancing ants. So now I've got my colors. I could easily come in here, do a levels adjustment, and play with my darks and my lights, kind of make those colors pop a little bit more. I could come in to do a hue and saturation and push that saturation up so my reds pop even more. So it really depends on what you're really trying to show and what you're trying to get rid of. You could go through now and add a mask and mask out all this green if that's what you wanted to do. It's kind of up to you because the green does have some red in it. They do have some similar colors as you're picking some of those picked up. So it really depends on how close you want to get certain colors. And that's pretty much all you're going to need to do for this one. Do a Control S and save. You will need to go through and find one more image you want to run a color range on to try that color splash. So try some flowers, try some fish. There's a lot of different ways to play with color range and create some pretty great images for your publications. That's all for this one.